What's up, Hoopers? The Lakers have started off to an 0-4 start. In fact, there's only 2 teams, I almost did 12, 2 teams that have ever made the playoffs going 0-4 to start. And the weird part is, Russell Westbrook was a part of both of those, one with the Rockets and one with the Wizards. But this means bad news for the Lakers going forward. There's so many grumblings out there, and in fact, Darvin Ham got so desperate, he offered a guy who hasn't played for 18 months a 10-day contract. Listen to this.
Well, have you thought about it at all?
Well, I didn't think about it until Darvin Ham offered me a 10-day to play tonight.
The other thing that's being brought up is not only should the Lakers trade for shooting, they are shooting a historically low click. 20% from the three-point line. In fact, the second lowest three-point percentage from any team in the NBA right now is just over 30%. So they're shooting 10% worse than that team. And they're only shooting about 40% from the floor. The pressure's getting to everybody. They're trying to force a bunch of players who are not shooters to shoot, and the Lakers need some players. But what are they going to do? How are they going to get off this draft capital? In fact, there's a new story that just came out that says they should probably just send Russell Westbrook home until he's traded. Oh my gosh. Look, I've been in these locker rooms. When you start sliding like that, especially after having the number 2 defense in the entire NBA, that means you're exerting extreme amounts of energy and you're playing your butts off. And when you lose those tight games like that, it really starts to weigh on you. Now, should they even start thinking about trading Anthony Davis or LeBron James? There's so many stories we got to uncover, but if you want to know who this player is who hasn't played in 18 months, who is a career incredible three-point shooter that Darvin Ham tried offering a 10-day contract to, that's what we're going to be showing at the end of this video, as well as just breaking down what's happening in these first 4 games for the Lakers. Because I am your NBA white guy talking all things NBA hoops from a Hooper's perspective, and if you love that kind of content, then dunk that like button. And make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss a thing. So the Lakers are off to a terrible start. It could have been absolutely reversed and be at least 2-2 right now had they not have coughed up a couple leads at the end. They've lost some tight games. But that Nuggets one, you could tell right out of the gate, they were gassed. In fact, I was on my live broadcast about a minute into the game saying, oh my gosh, we are screwed. No energy. There was actually a time during it where I was saying, man, I think we should have Russell Westbrook come play because nobody's got any freaking energy on this Lakers team. I knew they were going to get their butts kicked even though they tied it. But before we talk about some of the trades that are being talked about and this free agent who hasn't played in a year and a half, I got to talk about one thing. I love LeBron, LeGoat. You name him what you want to name him. And thanks to my proud sponsor, one of you guys who reached out, I got that GOAT James apparel. Look how nice that is. In fact, I got an email here. If you want some of the best swag out there, this is nice material. They're the #1 Amazon seller for all of your NBA teams. So icerbrands.com/unk. You guys can find it down in my description, but oh man, look at that thing. So I love me some LeBron James, and they sent me some swag. But I got to talk about the biggest elephant in the room, something that's starting to get farther and farther underneath the rug. I'm sorry, LeBron, I love you, but this is your fault. You had the chance to get DeMar DeRozan in, you had the chance to get Buddy Hield in, and it would have costed you nothing. In fact, DeMar DeRozan has been on multiple podcasts talking about how he thought it was a done deal. Could you imagine having another player like that who can knock down the shot anywhere, create his own shot? Now, you still need some three-point shooters, but you didn't get rid of all of your players to the Wizards for Russell Westbrook. You didn't get rid of all your draft picks. You actually have some more moves to be made right now. Or you could have had Buddy Hield. So it kind of drives me crazy that, LeBron, I love you, but you made a terrible decision bringing in old Brody Bro. So now that LeBron's on these 2-year contracts, he can be traded. Could you imagine a LeBron James trade? If LeBron was to be traded right now, what team would you love to see him play for? I'm going to give you a couple of my picks right now. One of them, I wouldn't mind seeing old LeGoat play with old Steph, old Chef Curry. The other one, you comment down below. Who would you like to see LeBron James get traded to? But many of you are Lakers fans, and what does this mean for the Lakers going forward with absolutely no draft capital except for a 2023 second-round pick, some first-round picks about 5 and 7 years down the road? They've got to get somebody in now and not waste LeBron's talent, because did you all see what I saw on his Instagram page? Basically talking in third person saying, hey, don't waste my time. But he's talking about taking him for granted. Do you think he's talking to Rob Pelinka on that one? Now, Pelinka, the front office, is getting a ton of blame, and I don't blame you guys for blaming them or blame wherever the blame goes. But you got to realize that LeBron brought in Brody, and he got rid of all those assets, and he did turn down DeRozan. He did turn down Buddy Hield already. So he's got to also go in on this and not just point fingers and say, yeah, kind of messed this one up. Now, Anthony Davis is another player that actually he's been playing really good this season, but you're asking him to do so much. There's people out there beating him down saying, oh, he's shooting 20% from the three and he's not doing this. I don't care what you say he's doing. He's a monster out there, and he's having to play the 5. He's having to play the 4. He's having to get rebounds. He's having to run the floor and be the fast break leader down the court. So he's running. And in the first 4 games, I have seen that dude grimace and grab his back more than anybody I've ever seen besides myself, because I've had back surgery. And in a recent interview, Dwight Howard talked about his back injury that had him absolutely not playing himself with the Lakers, with Kobe Bryant the first time around. Now, I've been through these situations too. You get these little spikes, these jolts in your back, and it can absolutely be devastating. That's why he can get right back in and play. But when you get that jolt, it hurts. So this could be something that gets really nasty if he doesn't take care of it. But I think that you would agree, and I would agree, 20% shooting from the three-point line, if they were just able to get that up to 25, 28%. So just taking a look at the Lakers this season, they have shot atrocious, as we all know. Look at Mr. Pat Bev there. So they have attempted, listen to this, 3-point attempts, 37. Now, that's one of the highest in the entire NBA. Now, you know and I know they're only shooting about 22% from behind the arc. So they are making 8 3-pointers a game as of right now. Let's say they shot just as good as the, second worst 3-point shooting team in the entire league. Right now, they're at about 22%, and the second worst team is at 30. So if you do that, the math hits you at about 11.1 makes per game. So that would be 3, just 3. That's all we're asking for, is to shoot 30% from behind the arc as a team. If you go in and look, that's still going to be a loss to Golden State, but against the Clippers, a win. Against the Portland Trailblazers, a win. Well, this would have been a win had Russell Westbrook not shot the ball with 15 seconds left on the shot clock and 30 seconds left in the... There would have been about 3 seconds left for the Portland Trailblazers to try and go tie it. So, yeah, they would have won that anyways. But now you go into this season 2-2. And as we take a look at the standings right now, the Lakers are an absolutely floor bottom that you can't get worse. But with just a 2-2 record, and as I'm shooting this, they're about to play the Timberwolves. So they could win this game and go 3-2. Look, it's got you up in this range anywhere from 4th place to basically 12th place, so it could be somewhere in the middle, and you just wouldn't be hearing these grumblings. But the number one thing that I talk about from a hooper's perspective really is the mentality. If you're 2-2 and you won a couple of these games close, especially the Lakers, especially the red-hot Portland Trailblazers, you're going to have a completely different mindset. Every game you're going to keep that energy up because you know, hey, this defense is winning us games and the shooting's going to come around. But when you go 0-4 and you've played harder than you've ever played, especially LeBron in year 20, and your defense is number 2 in the entire NBA and you're 0-4, it makes you start to give up. So this can be a very slippery slope for the Lakers. They desperately need to get a freaking shooter in the building. Now, I've been saying it for the past 2 weeks, get Matt Ryan some more shots. They brought him in for a couple minutes. He went 1 of 2 from behind the arc, but he's catch ready. He gets that ball, dude, and he is ready to shoot. That's what you need. You need these guys who come off screens and they are ready to shoot. I'm so tired of seeing all these players grab the ball on the 3-point line and they think about it like, should I? Well, they're about 8 feet off me. I guess I'll fling it. And back iron, brick, just building buildings all over the Lakers court or wherever they're playing with these bricks. But who did Darvin Ham go out on a limb and try and put a 10-day contract to? A guy that I have been wondering, why is he not playing in the NBA right now? This is a guy who could be a bona fide shooter. I love these teams of LeBron James in the past with Miami Heat and Cleveland, where they had guys like Mike Miller in Miami. The dude knocked down like 11 threes. He lost his shoe in a game and was still knocking down threes. They brought in Ray Allen late in his career. They had Kyle Korver in some of those runs, and that winning run actually in Cleveland. These are catch and shoot players, older, vets. They don't care about the moment. They're just going to shoot because that's what they do. Let me show you who it was, and man, would I love to see this happen. Your boy, JJ Reddick, a 41.5% three-point shooter in his career with over 4,700 three-point attempts. And just look at these beautiful percentages: 40%, 38%, 40%, 46.6%, 48.8%. This dude can knock down shots. The other thing that JJ Reddick does really well, which when I used to watch him play all the time, it makes you dizzy. He does a little bit of what Steph Curry does. He is constantly moving. He is jumping around screens. He's getting double screens, and that just makes the defense on the other team have to look the entire time. Now, if you've watched my videos at any length, you will realize that I've played the game not only through high school, but I was fortunate enough to play all the way through college, and I just get it. When you have that player, whether they go 0 for 10 on a night or 10 for 10, they are in the actual scouting report as do not let him shoot. Shooters are shooters. That's just the end of the story. A guy like Matt Ryan, even Cole Swider, all preseason, all first 4 games, those guys get it. They're shooting it. You have to respect that. You know that, even a guy like Matt Ryan in the G League shot 9 attempts a game and was shooting 42%. So the whole scouting report is going to say, don't let this dude shoot. And that's what they're doing. And he's constantly moving and moving and moving. And so the defense has to spread out. What does that do? It friggin' opens up the lane for LeBron James. Because right now, you could play defense against the Lakers with 3 players. All you need to do is just put 3 guys in the paint, let them shoot from the outside. They're going to make only 20% of them. You go down there, do your business. So, a guy like JJ Reddick, please let's bring him in. Now, obviously, there was a little bit of a joke on the side of it, but hey, I bet you a guy, you never lose your hoop and touch. And he's got his podcast, and he's also out there, on ESPN and many of these other platforms. So he's got a good gig. But he may get them juices to go play with the purple and gold, to play alongside LeBron James. He's been, notoriously stated as talking about LeBron as one of the greatest players ever, always standing up for LeBron James. And he actually played against LeBron James in high school when LeBron was only like a sophomore, junior, and came back and said, that's going to be the best player the NBA or the world has ever seen. So JJ's got some love for Lego. But it also brings up many, many, many other trade talks. And right now, ranking them in the order that I would love to see, obviously there's the Utah Jazz out there, there's the San Antonio Spurs, there's the Pacers, and really the Hornets. Those are the major teams and contenders that I've heard, with grumblings of the Miami Heat possibly, maybe even the Memphis Grizzlies, just trying to get that one last piece to actually be title contenders. But I am loving this trade talk with the San Antonio Spurs for one reason only. They're going to get 2 bona fide shooters out of it, veteran shooters that are both 6'7" to 6'8", and an incredibly athletic young center who can take a lot of the pressure off Anthony Davis. But one of my commenters actually said in my comment section, do you realize that the Spurs have never dealt with the Lakers? They hate the Lakers. So are the Lakers never going to be able to do a trade with the Spurs? Comment down below. Will Popovich, will the Spurs actually do a deal to get those picks? We know that they are tanking for Vic, but will they deal with the Lakers? Will they sell their soul to the Lakers to get more picks, to get more draft capital, and completely rebuild that Spurs organization? So right now, that means you need to go down and you need to put your votes in for who do you feel like the Lakers need to make a trade with? Pacers, Spurs, Hornets, or the Utah Jazz? Comment that down below. I will read all of those comments and do another video on it, because I am your NBA white guy, talking all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. So if you're loving that, make sure you dunk the like button and you subscribe so that you never miss a video. And until my next video, homies, we'll catch you later.